Hey YouTube, what's going on? Mind, body, spirit. This is going to be one kind of the topic of mind. I was talking to a friend of mine just yesterday, and we were talking about um, lawsuits and what people ought to be able to get if they sue someone. And in this particular scenario, we were talking about doctors. And doctors, if they get sued, especially if they get sued a lot, they'll leave the profession because they're afraid, if they do something wrong, they're going to get sued. They need to be afraid. Now, herein lies the issue, and if you apply this principle to just about everything, it'll really get you to understanding that most people are collectivists. Republicans like to believe that liberals are socialists, communists, and collectivists, but they are collectivists, and maybe even more so, collectivists. They're just collectivists regarding other things. Liberals are collectivists when it comes to um, certain things, and then Republicans are collectivists when it comes to other things. Both of them want to uh, free themselves, but then enslave everyone else. And so what you find is that this scenario regarding doctors want all the freedom to be able to make as much money as they can, whether it be through the pharmaceutical companies, through the prescribing of drugs, or through surgery, or do whatever. But they want none of the consequences that if they, through neglect, screw somebody up. And they're saying, well, if you sue them, you can't have it can't be unlimited, because if you did and you put them out of the profession, well, then that's the whole thing. All of us take risk. They want to be a protected class. Now, what I find interesting is that this is usually the Republican position. Republicans believe that there should be no limit. I'm sorry, that there should be a limit. There should be a cap when someone sues someone. So, in other words, what they're saying is that they believe the doctors should be a protected class. Now, it's no wonder why they always try to protect corporations, because they want a protected class. Corporations, their own welfare as well. Going back to my welfare video. But even, to extend that, you can see that, but they do their welfare in a more crafty way. What they do is they legislate their welfare. So what they do is, and they get government to enforce it. Remember anything, if you don't remember anything else, people, government is force. That's the reason the corporations want these laws, because they know the government is going to enforce them. So going back to our scenario in regards to the doctors, they want to be a protected class. Now, what's interesting about the Republicans is that they don't believe that anyone should get special rights. They're against affirmative action, which I'm against affirmative action as well. They are against the welfare state. I'm against the welfare state as well. I'm not a Republican. Uh, they don't believe that there ought to be protected class, like, gay bashing or something like that. They believe that assault is assault. Whether you're gay or not has nothing to do with it. I 100% agree. I don't think there ought to be special laws for gay people, special laws for black people, special laws for women. If you assault someone, you rape someone, it's covered under the criminal code. You ought to be prosecuted. No special classes. But it's always interesting that they want these doctors as if they're a protected class. Listen, put your big boy pants on. If you want to become a doctor and make millions of dollars, you can be a millionaire or you can be a thousandaire, because all doctors are not millionaires. But whatever you want to do, there's risks that go along with it. If you can't handle it, then get out of the profession. And well, then he says, well, then there's going to be a shortage of doctors. Well, then maybe that's what we need. That's what the market provides. Maybe people would take better care of themselves and not be so lean so much to Western medicine. They would eat right, they would exercise, they would eat more organic foods if they had less doctors. Who knows? But they should not be a protected class. So, you can see the irony and the hypocrisy of many Republicans when they talk about they don't want anyone to be a protected class, and they talk about the free market. The last thing that big business wants is a free market. They detest capitalism. And like when during the Occupy Wall Street, they were pissed off at the wrong people. They should be pissed off at government. because government is the one that doles out the cookies. They're the one that dole out the protection. They're like the mafia. And so they are the ones that allow the corporations to be able to do the things that they do. Government should exist for two reasons, and the Constitution stipulates this. To provide for the common defense. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily a standing army, but we can debate that another time. And they should protect property rights. I'm going to do a video in regards to the Civil Rights Act, and this is a point of contention with a lot of people, especially liberals, and many conservatives don't even understand this too. Of why, like someone like Dr. Paul said that he would support the Civil Rights Act of, I think it's 64 or 65, one of them, except for one clause, and that was property rights. And so I'll do a video on property rights. It'd be interesting to hear what you guys have to say. But anyway, I just wanted to chime in a little bit because it's kind of one of those things that was on my mind in regards to doctors. I don't know why doctors think that they ought to be protected class. I think you ought to be able to sue them in a punitive manner to where you put them out of business. And one of two things will happen. Either you'll get into medicine for the right reasons, or you won't get into medicine because you're afraid that the cost is not worth the benefit. Uh, Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Interested in hearing your comments. Thanks.